It's June 14th, Ed. Why are you so late?
Who was in France for 3 weeks? Who was that guy?
Woo! 3 weeks. Wow, it was really something because we didn't want to come home.
Really?
We went to saw Lafitte.
Whose?
We saw Lafitte's.
Whose feet?
Not Mike Houlihan's Barefoot Cellars.
Oh, I see.
No, it was pretty spectacular. You know what's interesting?
A lot of things.
Pauillac is a depressed town that almost looks boarded up.
You're kidding?
No.
Really?
Yes.
Are you kidding? With all those wines that are $1,000 each?
Across the street is like some of the wealthiest wineries in the world, right?
Okay, that's a shocker. Yeah, I'll go along with that.
You look one direction, you see the tower for Chateau Latour, and you look the other direction, you see the castle for Lafitte.
Yeah, right.
In the middle, you're like, it's depressing. I mean, Sarah and I walked the river edge, and it's just like these people. It's just terrible. It was really sad.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
You would think.
Food, no restaurants of any consequence.
Wow. Okay.
It's pretty interesting, but I had to make the trip. You know, it's one of those deals where if you make somebody gives you the opportunity, it's like, okay, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. So, but not to be paled, because it was very interesting. Of course, it's not tourist trade, right? You don't just walk into tasting.
Well, no, that's
Nothing.
true.
There's not even a public entrance to speak of. They don't walk up to the wine and go, oh, they
really
enter here.
That is shocking.
Happen.
Okay.
So, but we went to Beaujolais.
Okay.
On a separate part of the trip, and that was fascinating.
Okay.
Chateau de Jacques, which is Louis Jadot property.
Oh yeah, well Jadot was kind of king over there.
Yeah, but it's phenomenal wines down in the cellar. It was really
people don't understand how good those wines can be. When you start to get into those Cru Beaujolais from the villages like Morgon and those wines are delicious. Yeah. They are really good.
And this guy's sort of ambassador. His name is Cyril. He was here. We did an interview with him, but he's an ambassador sort of for Beaujolais. He's just like, look, Beaujolais is not Nouveau.
Oh, no, that's true. No, as a matter of fact, I would think the Beaujolais people hate Nouveau, but they don't have a choice now.
They don't have a choice.
Anyway.
So, 40 years ago, 1978, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
The June selection, which is interesting, is a Hacienda Zin.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre because we have a Zin this time around.
Well, yeah, that's bizarre.
And the other was the Corvo
White.
That's Sicilian, though.
That's Sicilian. What's interesting, Duca de Salaparuta was the name of the winery, and Corvo is the area, and that was one of the most popular wines in the country. Now I know who you are. You get that in France, too? It never ends.
I've been dying to pull that one off, Ed.
I'm glad you did.
But I remember the Corvo wine. I remember being on the shelf.
And Hacienda, God, I remember Hacienda. They went out of business like so many other wineries and were bought out by Franzier, the name was.
Oh, that's right.
And so I don't know what they're doing now. And I'm sure that the property is something else. Hacienda was in Sonoma, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and it was, that's right, it was bought out by, we did a lot of their wines, actually, over the
years.
Well,
they made some great wines. Hacienda was a damn good winery, and exactly what happened, who knows? I mean, it's not the easiest business in the world, that's for sure. And those are our two wines from 40 years ago.
Cheers, we're looking forward to seeing on the flip side. Hey, welcome to the Vintners Series for June 2018. Bonjour, soir. Does that sound like a broken glass?
Yeah, that sounds like a broken glass.
That's right. 3 weeks in France.
That's right. 3 weeks.
I can tell you something, and I've been studying French for 3 years now, quite frequently.
Oui.
And I was able to communicate conversations with taxi drivers, and I literally bailed my friend out who got pulled over by the French police on the way out of Charles de Gaulle.
You can't talk to your wife, but you can talk to a policeman.
So the guy pulls him over. He's got dark features. He pulls him over. The guy said, my friend says something stupid. The guy's starting to grill him, and then the associated police officer waves me over, and in French I said, hey, we're in Paris now. We started here on the May 18th. We ended up going to these towns, and now we're back for one night. What else can I tell you? And then he's like, he looks at his friend. He goes, they're okay. Anyway, so wow. Before I left on this 3-week excursion, I bought all the wines I could through August actually, and wow, we were just talking about how you've been getting these barrel samples that are just like the ones we just tasted, which have been average at best. But some of these bottled goods I've been getting have been pretty amazing, like this Mecedora.
Yeah, I know. That stuff's amazing. So, what have we got here?
Well said, Ed. That stuff's amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
This is Listerne et Frigoulas.
Vin de Pays D.O.C.
Pays d'Oc.
Pays d'Oc. D.O.C.
So this is...
these wines...
Cabernet Merlot. This is why I love this.
Yeah, this is really good.
This is what's happening down in Languedoc, right? They're growing all kinds of varietals, and they're learning how to adapt them to, including Charles Bertrand.
Montpellier.
And this Montpellier, but Bertrand...
Well, Bertrand, we've done before. Those wines are unbelievable. I mean, they are absolutely
and
they are
he's
so
leading
good.
the charge with all kinds of varietals, and here we have a Cab Merlot from the Languedoc.
Well, we've had a lot of these wines from this guy, and we've had a lot of, Rhone-style wines, Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, Cinsault, et cetera. But
It's so good.
But everything this guy makes is great,
I love the balance. And it's 60 Cab, 60-40.
Yeah, 60-40 Cab Merlot, but, I mean...
And I can see this aging. The nose is spectacularly complex. A little fruit forward, but...
Really, really, really nice wine. $20.99 is the regular shelf price of $13.99 pre-order, and boy, I'm at a 98 for that. That's close.
I think you're getting sold it. It says 98 on the list here.
Well,
I've 96, 97.
I've been tasting so many crappy wines lately. When you taste
true.
something really good, you go, "Oh wow!" I'm serious. I've tasted so many bad wines lately, and it's like, is it me? I was almost beginning to wonder if maybe my taste buds were going, because I tasted like...
No, it's true though. That's what happens.
8 or 10 wines. I go, these are terrible.
There's some Tuesdays where I start and I'm going, nothing's very good. Yeah. Maybe it's my palate. Maybe I screwed up. I've been taking medication. No. Yeah. And then you realize the good wine comes in. You go, oh no, it was the wine.
That's the wine. So let that be a lesson to you, boys and girls. Don't dispel your own palate.
I think that's extraordinarily fun.
That is a really fabulous bottle of wine.
And what here's what I learned on my trip, because I took.
What did you learn about your trip?
2 couples. We actually had 4 or 5 couples ultimately, but at one time there were 2 other couples. Both of them, one guy, a very learned wine guy who's trying to learn, who's always looking stuff up. He appreciated the Lafite tour and was fascinated by the Beaujolais tour. And my other friend, who's now just built a wine cellar's house, he's trying to fill it up. He wants me to fill it with him. He was fascinated by the subject. And I finally got them over the hump of Napa Valley Cabernet. We don't have to drink Napa Valley Cabernet every day. We can try other things.
Oh boy! Well, did I send you this long article about if it ain't Napa, it ain't wine, something like that?
No.
Oh my God! Well, some guy did a survey, and people just think Napa is the cat's meow, and I made a comment that I can't say on the air, but I was like, oh come on, you guys, this is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Okay, now
these are our friends from Mecedora. It's a Chardonnay.
Yeah, and he put it in a Bordeaux bottle.
I know.
Okay, so right away I'm skeptical.
But we had an interesting, at the wine tasting at the racetrack last Saturday, we had an interesting experiment, because we had 2 different Chardonnays. One in California, slightly oaked, and we had this. There was like 50-50. Some like the other one better, some like this one better. But this was so fascinating because a typical Chardonnay from that area it's not that Chardonnay-ish.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, if you start to, if you really start to think about it, it's
body.
It's tequila. That's my phone. Who's got the bad taste to call me now? Anyway, the thing about this wine though is that because it's got no oak, you go, what is it? Because you're so used to oaked Chardonnay that are so annoying, and you just got to go, okay, enough already. Anyway, but this wine is really something. Just a second. Just hold on a second. Think now. It's not Chablis, because Chablis you get rocks and granite.
You're right.
But it's not Chablis. But if you say, "Oh, I don't know what this is,"
I get Macon on this.
Oh, there you go. Now I think you just hit it.
That's a great observation.
But now
catch that. It's very French.
It really does.
And French winemaker.
And it's chilly. Well,
it's not actually very cold.
The thing that bothers me the most is I keep coming back for this.
Yeah.
Okay? You'd think at some
Just
point
like you, I guess.
I would have learned.
Some people are.
Apparently not.
So here's a You're such a social networking kind of guy. This is the Lyeth. Now, we did Lyeth like
It's Lyeth.
that too, like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened to them. They disappeared. They got bought. I don't know what happened.
Well, you should read the newsletter. I hated writing this story. I really did. I mean,
Why?
because Chip Lyeth was one of the sweetest, nicest guys I ever met. Great winemaker. He was a great grape grower. That's where he started, and he was selling his grapes to Silver Oak and all kinds of people. And then he decided in 1981 he was going to make his first wine, and it was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Great bottle of wine, but he got himself into all kinds of financial trouble, and he.
In the wine business?
Yeah, right. And I believe it was back in about, I want to say 89 or 90, 91, something like that. He made a deal with this firm to sell half the winery, and they were going to give him all this cash and get him out of debt. And the day he signed the deal, he was a flyer. He was he went a pilot. He went to an air show, crashed his plane, and died.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I know, and people told me, I go, no, it couldn't be Chip Lyeth, because I was up there several times. He was absolutely one of the nicest guys I ever met. Great winemaker, very humble. I'm so glad that you like my wine. And they were getting unbelievable press. The guys that bought it from him ended up going bankrupt. He would have gotten, hosed over anyway. But of course he had a wife and young kids and whatnot. But then Franzia bought the label.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
I didn't buy this from Classic though.
They own the label, so I don't know where you got it.
So this is amazing to me because it's 16. There's tons of sediment already forming on the shoulder. It's extracted as like you can't believe, right?
Boy, I'll tell you, that's pretty amazing.
This is a pretty amazing bottle of
because this
wine.
is not Sonoma. It's a California Appellation, pretty similar label, but it really has a lot of the same kind of extraction that the old Lyeth wines had.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty expressive. That's why I bought it. I remember now, but I never noticed the sediment, which means, boy, it really was. The extraction at the time of pressing was really something.
1999 on the shelf.
This is a 98 for me.
Absolutely.
I think it's great.
I mean, $13.99. You don't buy wine like that for $13.99. No. What's wrong with you?
Not with that care. Not with that care. Not with that depth.
Depth.
You could talk about that month. Talk about that wine for a month.
No, you could talk about it for a month.
But we only have.
I'm done.
So this is another.
This was interesting.
Well, we just got done tasting Soave from the winemaker Kristen Ridolfi up in Verona. And
that was one of the
Soave.
best Soaves I've ever tasted. That was really out of this world. I mean, I put that up against.
Smell this one. This has way more effusive in the nose. Acinum. Wow.
Really good.
This is so
This
good.
is delicious.
It's a Classico too.
$18.99 on the shelf, $12.99 reorder. That's really nice.
So what happened with Soave and Bartolino, those things from the wines that used to put on my dad's wine shelf? Bola was the only people that used to make it.
Yeah, Bola.
And it was in that section of the wine shop that was sort of discounted. And now the Soave has a Classico, and the wines are pretty elegant.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a serious white wine. I mean, it's certainly one of the best whites in Italy. And there's some guys, well, I think Piero Pan really started the wave. And then Genie came later, and Anselmi. I mean, they put really great wines in the bottle and called it Soave. And everybody said, oh, wow, that's Soave? Gee, I didn't know that,
It's really quite spectacular. And this is what I love about Italian whites. I love the Italian reds too, but the Italian whites intrigue me because
they're
they're
so crisp and clean. There's just a cleanliness about them that is amazing.
And I'm going to give this a 97 as it says on the sheet. I mean, come on. You put that up against a $12.99 California Chard you buy at the market.
Now stop berating California Chard that you buy from the Wine of the Month Club.
Yeah, that's the Vintners Series for June 2018. Thanks for coming, Ed.
My pleasure, Paul.